This is Unlock Me Worldwide. This is the first episode of the SIM card trap, particularly how to navigate the eSIM card jungle of Southeast Asia and the Middle East. One of the main reasons to make yourself familiar with eSIM cards is because your local carrier, when you decide to travel overseas, your local international plan is going to be very expensive. The roaming charges are going to make your regular mobile bill go through the roof. So an eSIM card at $2 a day, $3 a day becomes a very attractive option. And the main thing about it, you're able to have data from the time you land in your destination. My experience going to Southeast Asia using a few different carriers and how that affected me while traveling are eSIM card providers. And when I say E, that means there's no physical SIM card involved. All SIM card providers are not created equal. So you hear a lot about Holofly. You know, I see they got like hip commercials, real trendy commercials. And what I noticed is that once you get to Southeast Asia, their customer service was not super effective. And those of you who don't know, you can jump online, purchase an eSIM card from Areola, Sally, or Holofly. You just log in there and it's a real quick procedure. They'll send you a QR code that'll show up in your email. When you activate the QR code, the time starts running. You can't unactivate it and then reactivate it. That's why I suggest go ahead and activate it the day before you travel. Why? When you land in that new country, you'll have internet access, which gives you access to Lyft, Uber, Grab, or whatever rideshare service you need. And that's super important because you don't want to be subject to the local transportation hustlers, taxis that want to spin you around the block and overcharge you and loud talk you when you don't pay them what they think you should. Secondly, you want to have data because you want to be able to use Google Maps. You want to be able to access your email. With me, how I do it, I just go for 1 day or 2 days. I did like 2 days max, get off the plane. I know I have data for 2 days until I can get to a mall or to a convenience store where I can purchase a physical SIM card that gives me a local number. As far as Southeast Asia is concerned, there's different apps that locals use like Line or WhatsApp. And you want to, if you're interested in networking with people locally, you want to have continuous access to those apps. Man, the main thing that I'm trying to get across is that, you know, you might show up at the hotel and who knows, their internet might be spotty, right? Might not even be on point. And if you don't have data, then it's going to be tough for you to continue your business. You might have started something before you even got on the plane and you want to continue that process. I don't recommend Holofly. I'm sorry, you know, I'm not sponsored by any of these people, but my security measure, which is NordVPN, when they tell me when I get off the plane that I need to, and they push a Maya, which is a company that they pushed at me. And I was like, when I first got it, I was like, man, you know, I'm just trying to clear out as many advertisements as I can so that I can handle my business. But I had such a hard time with Holofly trying to get them to understand that I didn't have SMS. There was no SMS. So just be aware of that, man. There's not going to be no SMS with the eSIM card. I don't know how long you're going to be in Asia, Africa, Australia, or the Middle East, but you want to maintain your relationship with your home internet service provider. That's very key for digital access when it comes to running a business globally. If you originated those accounts in your home country, your service provider from your home is essential, because when it comes to recovery codes and two-factor authentication and proving who you are in case you should get in case you can get an interruption with your IP address. If there's any interruptions like that, you want to be able to prove who you are, right? And the only way to do that is through your original registration. That's what they're going to go back to, especially banking, and not just banking, but also if you run an e-commerce of any kind, cryptocurrency, day trading, or any of those things that allow you to have location freedom. But right now we're talking digital access. If you have your home phone number still intact, you'll be able to prove who you are via SMS, email, and via phone call, right? You can still receive calls. I receive calls all the time from the US here in Dubai or Southeast Asia, wherever I am. Your banking relationships are back in the US or UK or Australia or anywhere in Europe, wherever you live. You need to make sure that those accounts stay established and stay strong. And if there's an interruption, it can interrupt your business. So that's why digital access is such a key, is such an important aspect. eSIM card is essential the day before you travel if you want to touch down with data, with the ability to bypass that long, stupid line that you see in the airport. But they're not wrong. The people who are in that long line to get a physical SIM card, they're not wrong. You might, if you're like me, you just want to get on with the show. And that line is long for a reason. And the short line, definitely avoid the shorter line, because the shorter line is where the highest expense is going to be. eSIM card, I would go with Maya over Holify. That's just me. I'm not sponsored by any of them. Is showing up offline dangerous? It can be because you don't want to be a statistic. At the same time, if you can avoid it for $2 or $3 until you get to a local venue where you can buy a local SIM card, it's more than worth it. I have a global SIM and eSIM guide that puts you up on everything you need to know about what and how to use all the things that I'm talking about right now. You'll have it right in front of you for $7. Okay, so go ahead and click the link in the description. It's priceless. You're gonna love it. So go ahead and tap in, man. Tap in. This is Unlock Me Worldwide. We do our thing in Southeast Asia, Dubai, and United States as well. We love Muay Thai, kickboxing as discipline for our digital business. And if you are interested in starting a digital business, man, go ahead and tap in.